everybody, so here's an update, overview of this week's work. Hopefully it will be helpful. I will keep it as short as I can. If you missed our Zoom call today, next week you can check in. Make sure that you are looking over the what is due posts. I will put them up as need be throughout the week. I will always put one up on Monday to give you a sort of heads up and overview of the week to come. So you'll see that week 12 work is telling you you got to go to the week 12 folder. Everything is in there. The post from today was a reminder of our Zoom call. And if you missed the Zoom call, you might want to check out the Flipgrid because I added a video of Walzer describing his theory of just war. It's a short video. It might be helpful to you. It might help to clarify what he's talking about. To look at this week's work, we click into Project 3. We click into week 12 and make sure that you're reading this really carefully. This first link, which provides a general overview of the readings that we have to do every week. And it's a big one this week. I have provided the link to the ebook, although there have been problems with that. And if you have the book, then you don't have to worry about the ebook. You've got all of the readings that you need for this week inside of the game book. This tells you the pages that you need to read. And what's important is that for Sunday, you get to choose 2 of these 4 readings. You do not have to do all 4. You have to choose 2 of the 4. If you click onto the Tuesday assignment, you will see that there is the reading guide. You need to fill it out and then submit. If you click on Thursday, it's the same thing. We're going to read Tesson. There's going to be another reading guide that you have to fill out and submit. And then by Sunday, you are going to turn in an actual annotated bibliography that will include Walzer and Tesson, those 2 required readings for this week, and then the other 2 readings that you do on your own. And I'm not giving you a reading guide for those other readings. Number 1, because everyone gets to choose 2 of the 4. You might choose different things. And number 2, because there are reading questions on your annotation template. And I provided this annotation template to let you see what an annotated bibliography should look like formatting-wise, and to give you a little bit of help with formatting it. So if we click on this, and I'm going to open the link in a new tab, although mine's actually already open on my computer, so this is what pops up. You should not be able to edit this. This is not an editable document for you at this time, but if you like this and you just want to add on to my document, what you might want to do is click on File, make a copy, give it a title, My Annotated Bib, and it will go into your own Google Drive where you can write all over it. Some things I want to point out to you. This first annotation is just an example. Notice that in APA format, we have author last name, right? And then right after that, we only have first author initials. After that, we have a year, the year of the original publication of the speech or the book or whatever you're reading. Then the title of what you actually read. So the title of what you actually read is not the title of our game book. It's the title of what your specific author actually wrote. If you scroll down, Bush is an author and he wrote the New World Order speech. We have Bill Clinton as an author and the title of his text is Address to the UN General Assembly and so on. And I've added these down here. Okay. This part of every single one of your annotations is the exact same because all of our readings come from the same book. And the title of the book, our game book, is The Needs of Others, Human Rights, International Organizations, and Intervention in Rwanda, 1994. Kelly McFall is the editor of that book, so every single one of your annotations should have this information. And I put this in here because I want you to be able to copy and paste this. So if it was me doing this assignment, I would highlight it. I would hit Control-C or Command-C. And right here where it says, you need to complete the reference, I would hit Control-V. Now, this does some funky things to my spacing, and it's rather irritating. But what I can do is put my cursor here and hit backspace, and then I have to hit Enter at the end of this first line. I think. Wait, let me see if I can do this by just highlighting and moving my cursor. if I highlight and move the cursor like that and then hit push, no, I have to hit enter at the end of this first line. And then when I do that, I should be able to go up and move my cursor. Yes, so now it's pretty. Okay, so notice that I just copied this. I created this for you guys so that you can copy it into every single one of your annotations. Control C. Let's scroll down and put it into Bill Clinton's because I chose to read Bill Clinton's. Control V. And again, I have to hit enter at the end of my first line. I want to hit backspace so that I get everything else in the same order. I'm going to hit highlight, and then I'm going to move my indentations like that. If you're getting stuck with the indentations, it's probably because you didn't hit enter at the end of the first line, right? Definitely you got to go in and you have to fix the page numbers. Don't leave them as XXXXXXXX. I'm making you do a little bit of work. Here's an example of a speech that needs formatting. This is incorrect. Notice how there's no indentation inside of this annotation. So it needs to look like the top two with these pretty little indentations in this space right here. And the way that I do that is, let me finish up my reference. I Control V. I go up here. I hit enter. This has created some additional space for some reason, so I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it. And now it looks pretty. I'm going to do this again. I have to replace this. Control V. Here. Enter. Let me highlight everything. Let me move this up here. You got to make sure that it's in line. And here I have some extra weird space, so I just have to hit backspace. So this blank space right here, this is really what you want in any annotated bibliography. Okay, so what else is going on here in this annotated bibliography? Please read all of this over when you go to do yours, but then when you're done with it, delete it, right? So take my little starter thing out. If you choose to read the George H.W. Bush speech, notice that I have added questions on what you should do in your annotation. So if you choose to read this speech, check these questions out. Make sure your annotation answers them. If you choose to do this speech, check these questions out. Make sure that your annotation answers these questions. If you are brave and you want to read the Boutros Ghali speech, here are some reading questions that can guide you through reading his speech. If you choose to read this very short speech from François Mitterrand, here are the questions that I'd like you to answer for him. Now by Sunday, you've already read Toussaint and you've already read Walzer. So really these two annotations should be you kind of summarizing what your reading guides came up with. Make sure that your annotations answer these questions as best you can. And when you are done with this, you are going to create a title for this. Let's center it. List of references. Okay, and then this thing looks like it is in APA format. If this doesn't work for you, you don't like working inside of my template, you absolutely do not have to. I created this just so that people can have a visual reference of what annotated bibliographies need to look like. I created this as an option, not as a requirement. Certainly, once you complete this, you're not going to have this many sources. You only need 4. So you have to have these last 2, but then you choose the other 2 that you want. You are going to download this as a Word document or a PDF. I would recommend Word document. Save it to your own computer, and then upload it to Blackboard, and we will get started on Rwandan history next week, which is far more exciting, I think, than reading a lot of these really dry documents. Good luck. Let me know if you have additional questions, and I'll talk to you soon.